Hey everybody, I hope that you are having a delightful Thursday. It is hot. Oh my goodness, I even have my air conditioning, my little window unit thingy on today because it's be hot. I'm happy because I am making beads. I have this bead stash. Now this is not my whole bead stash, but this is like the beads that I use quite often. So I'll show this to you. You guys know how much I love to put beaded spines on my junk journals. So I am getting very low on fabric beads and paper beads. I don't have any clay beads, you know, homemade clay beads left. So I thought we would do some clay beads today. We're going to do 3 different beads. We're going to do paper beads, we're going to do clay beads, and we're going to do fabric and floss beads. I think I'll be able to do all 3. If not, then I'll do 3 different videos and we'll just move from one to the other. A very handy, helpful hint when you are doing anything that's sticky is to make yourself a surface to work on. I got this idea from Jenny Belly and I really do love it. It's just a piece of cardboard and it's covered with packing tape. I don't have that, you know, the really nice like clear crafting mats that, you know, you can paint on and then you just wipe right off. I don't have one of those. But this is a really sweet little thing to have. It makes things really, if you're doing anything sticky, it makes it just a really handy spot to work. Okay, let's get going with some clay. I made clay last night. So I'll show you how it looks. It's a wee sticky, and that's okay. I will put the recipe in the description box below. Now, the recipe, you really have to, I think it depends on the humidity. I think it depends on the temperature of your home, how much cornstarch you have to add to this air dry clay. The initial recipe calls for, now I just did a mini batch the very first time I did it, but yesterday I doubled this batch. So I used a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, a 1/4 cup of glue, a whole tablespoon of baby oil, and a whole tablespoon of white vinegar. I did, you guys, when I was mixing this up, I did have to add a significant amount of cornstarch to it. Now, I think cornstarch is a moisture absorber. So, you know, my house is humid and we don't use central air conditioning, so that might have had something to do with it. But anyway, so tweak the recipe. But what I'm going to do here is just pull off a little bit. And then I'm just going to put the rest into a little Tupperware container and smash it down in the middle. And then that way it stays nice and fresh. I do leave this downstairs because upstairs overnight it gets really, really hot. I mean, I'm technically in an attic space. So, you know, it just gets hot up here. It's summertime. I'm going to pull just a wee bit of clay off. This is fun. I've done all kinds of things with like a little clay bead. I have, and I think what I'll do with these is I'll probably spray them with some ink or something like that. So you roll your little clay bead, and then I'm just going to put a hole through it. And then you're going to have to kind of reshape your bead. Now, I really do like this because you end up with not exactly round beads. It looks more like a, I don't know, like a blueberry or something. You know, you got a little bit of flatness to it. And I like that because this is you know, if you want perfect beads, then run on over to Michael's and buy you some perfect beads. I like rustic and home style looking things. And these sort of rustic beads go really, really great with the fabric beads that we're going to be making. This is not one to slip off my, okay, let's try that again. And I can already feel it drying out. So let's try it again. Just kind of pull it around there. It looks like a marshmallow almost. I think I might have just slid it on the stick too far. But we'll see. We might be having like an, oh, there we go. Okay. So there you go. You got your hole through it. You have to punch that hole a little further. Sometimes they crack. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, it is really drying out, so I gotta work a whole lot faster. So we're gonna roll this out. And the cool thing about making your own air dry clay is it's made from stuff around the house. So, you know, if you have kids and, you know, you want a cool, kind of cool clay for them to play with, and make you up some air dry clay. You can also like cut shapes out. Probably, I've got a star cutter downstairs, so I'm gonna make some stars. It was supposed to be a cookie cutter, but I don't make cookies. My neighbor makes the best cookies, and that's why I don't make cookies anymore. She like really makes good cookies. She's such a good cook. I'm very lucky. I was thinking this morning when I was walking Mia, you know, everybody's yard just looks so pretty right now. Everybody's daylilies are in bloom, and, you know, the roses are in bloom, and the hydrangeas are in bloom. I live in a very, just feel very fortunate to live in my little neighborhood. It's a sweet little neighborhood. Okay. Oh, and apples. My neighbor has a big grove, and there are crab apple trees in there. Whew, man, I think crab apples are so much better than anything. You know, they're wild. He doesn't trim them or anything. They're small and tart. They make really good apple turnovers. There we go. 3. Let's do one more. Can really feel it drying out, y'all. So I'm gonna stick my clay back into its little home over here. And I don't know what you do when it starts, you know, drying out. I just hope it doesn't. I was aggressive in how much I took out. You know, that was probably it. You know, you can press it flat and do, you know, like, I mean, you could do like a coin with it, or, you know, you could do a taco. Let's do a taco. I mean, seriously, you could. You know, you can press it like that and kind of fold it up like that. And then, like, I don't know what you would put in there. Anyway, yeah, it's just a fun idea. Right. I'll make this one. Well, I've got these 3 that are kind of the same size, so I'll make one more. I could make a donut out of it, you know. It's not toxic because it just has cornstarch and glue and baby oil and white vinegar in it. Okay, let's do one more. It's drying out. I'm sure that there are a lot of you who work with this who are horrified with what I'm doing right now. Like, when that girl does not know what she's doing, and you know what? I don't. But do I let that stop me? No. I have fun. That's my main objective. just to have a little bit of fun. Okay. Alright, there we go. Oops. Poke that in there a little bit. Okay, one more. And then I'll let these dry overnight and take them downstairs and spray them in the sunroom, because we're going to have another hot one tomorrow, but that will be super conducive to these drying in a nice way. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we've got our wee clay beads done. You guys see that okay? Alright. I'm going to set this, what can I put these on? Hold on. I am reaching in, aha, peanut butter top, perfect. Ooh. Ooh. He's slippery. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to set those to the side. I'm losing the hole over here. There we go. Uh-oh, see, it's cracking right there. It's alright. Don't crack, baby. Alright. Okay. Alright, so we got our clay beads done. The next bead that we're gonna play with is just simple paper beads. Jenny Belly has, and I know we all know who Jenny Belly is, this amazing paper bead tutorial that she did years ago, and that's where I learned to make paper beads. I'm not, I'm not an aficionado. I'm not an expert, but I do have fun with it, and I think it's a great way to use your scraps and things like that. So what we do is I just do it with glue stick, and you can do it however you want. And then I'm just gonna roll, roll, roll. And they make like bead rollers and stuff like that. They make all this equipment to roll beads. And making paper beads was very popular, like in the Edwardian era. Okay, so there's one. Let's see if we can get her off. Come on, baby. Work. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Alright, so there's one. It's also really handy to have a damp, I don't use baby wipes, I use art rags. So I've got an art rag over here that's a little bit damp, and that is helpful. I am going to wipe off my skewer because that might have been some of the problem I was having here. Also, I did not wipe my surface because somehow or another all of the sticky just really does help. The sticky helps you roll. So we're going to tuck in right here. And then we are rolling up. And they turn out so nicely. Okay, now when I'm almost finished, I'm going to lay it down right here and give it one more. A lot of people will make these very shiny by using a coating of clear fingernail polish on them. I don't particularly like shiny beads, but you can do whatever you want to with them. You can also finish them with just Mod Podge, if you want to do them that way. Just paint them with a you know, paintbrush. Shannon Green makes a lot of paper beads. I will point you to Shannon's channel, but most of you probably already know Shannon anyway. Shannon is awesome. Okay, there we go. We got 3. Let's make, I'm going to take you in just a wee. There we go. Okay, let's make one more of these, and then we'll move on to a different paper bead. So I'll point you to Jenny Belly, I'll point you to Shannon. Shannon Green. Lots of people make paper beads. They're fun. We're almost here, so we just give it another little dab of glue stick. And there you go. I've got 4 nice little beads. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will put those in my bead box. Well, not yet. I'll do a show and tell at the end. The next paper bead is just a very simple rolled paper bead. This is a 6 by 1 inch piece of paper. Let me just roll this. I did take out some eyelets just to see if I could get eyelets like in the top of these, because it just kind of popped in my head to see if they might fit. I don't know. Let's see. We can see. Oh, you know, like, art is just full of experimentation, isn't it? Let's see what we got here. Okay. Alright, well we can do that. We can kind of push a little eyelet in there. It kind of makes the bead have a little more of a finished look. Well, that was a fun discovery. Yeah, I don't think I have 2 of the same color. I'll just use this. Just kind of squish it in there. I'm surprised that works, but it does. Hey, look! I made a discovery. Aren't those fun? Okay. Well, let's do another one of those. The paper that I'm using is not, you know, it's not like heavyweight cardstock, right? It's just the thin stuff. The thin stuff works a whole lot better. Oh yeah, so it's already 4:30. About time to call Mama today and see what she's up to. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. That one's pretty. Alright. Let's stick. What do I have here? Yep. That'll go. Uh-oh, that one might not be quite the... Oh, it did. I kind of squashed it there. Alright. And I don't have like matching colors. I'm just going to try and go with whatever it is I have. I do not know how this is working because it seems like it would like really squash the bead, but I don't know if I'm able to kind of wiggle it and push the bead back into shape. You know what I'm talking about? Alright, that one did get kind of squashed in right there. That one turned out really good. I think this one, I rolled it a little bit bigger than that. Okay, we are going to do one more type of bead, and this is a fabric bead. I always, you know, you guys know how I like to use my scraps of whatever. So I always keep a little pile of scraps in my bead box, along with some scraps of embroidery floss. So these are fabric and floss beads, and I'll show you how these come together. I think that I do not have a paintbrush. Let me look down here and see if I can find one that will suffice, because it kind of needs, yeah, there we go. Kind of needs to have a bit of a stiff brush to do this. I don't think you really even have to have a paintbrush. You can just use your fingers if you want. Alright, I am going to dig these out. I also have some of this sweet fabric that I had left over. Let's just go ahead and start with this one. And I will put, there's some really pretty yellow right here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to paint some Mod Podge on here. There's a hair right there. Okay. I'm going to pick it up with our skewer and roll it. Can't roll it too tight on the skewer or all the Mod Podge and will start sticking. So just roll it, you know, as best you can. Again, you know, it does not have to be perfect. It has to be fun, but it doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. She's gonna need a wee bit. And these, I love to make these beads because a lot of times when I'm doing a wrap binding on a journal, I really like to use yarn. You know, it's not always embroidery floss. Embroidery floss does allow you to use a smaller whole bead, of course, but you can see how big this is, and it's really fun because you can, you know, you can be a little more liberal in the in your wrap binding fibers. Alright, so I coated that again in Mod Podge, and what I do is just wrap a little bit of floss right around here, and yeah, I mean, it does get really sticky, y'all. But they turn out so sweetly. There we go. I'm going to put that one there. I do think I'm going to wipe off the surface a little bit. I'm pretty gunked up. It's a fun kind of gunky though. Alright. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do, isn't that pretty? I like that. We will do this with some, let's do this with white. So, you know, in your bead box, just start keeping these small little bits, and you will be just surprised with how fast you can get a little stash of fabric bits to play with. Right, and we're going to pick up our skewer or a pencil or a paintbrush, whatever you have. Okay. All right, now I'm going to hold that. And they dry really stiff. You'll be surprised pleasantly. All right, now we're got our fingers all sticky. And we're just gonna wrap that around. I've got enough to take it around one more time. There we go. Kind of gooey. It's fun. I love to make things. I do feel like I'm the luckiest person in the whole wide world that, you know, part of my work is making things. I so admired my uncles when I was growing up. They were makers, artists and potters, and, you know, my auntie was a great maker. She made quilts. She made, she made everything. Quilts, clothing, pillows, all kinds of stuff. All right, let's do one of these. This is kind of the skinny one. You could take actually like really big hunks of fabric and make, you know, you can make really big beads. I kind of rolled that one backwards, but kind of like it because it's pale in comparison to the other one. Oops. Come on, baby. There we go. And they're so shabby looking. That's what I like about them. Very rustic. Okay. I've got a bit of blue over here. Let's wrap that around there. And there we go. Alright guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed making our, where are our paper clay beads? Where did they get? Oh, there they are. They're hiding. I hope you enjoyed making paper clay, air dry clay beads. Paper beads. Everybody's rolling around here now. Hold on. 2 styles of paper beads, like a rolled bead, and then just using a just a 1" by 6" piece of paper. And then last but not least, and I can't pick them up because they're sticky, our fabric and floss beads. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Fabric and floss beads. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little look at some DIY bead making. Try it yourselves. We can always go to Michael's. We can always order online. But I tell you, there's nothing like DIY. Use what you have. It just makes you kind of feel good inside. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. I will talk to y'all soon.